number, that is our principal quantum number. And what is the use of that principal quantum number? It tells us the energy level. Okay, it tells us energy level, simply that. Okay, second one is the azimuthal quantum number, which is represented by L. Now what is the use of this azimuthal quantum number? The value of L tells us the subshell present in the energy level, which means that it is going to tell us that in first subshell, in first energy level, which subshell is present, whether S subshell is present, P subshell is present, D subshell is present, or F subshell is present. Similarly, it is going to tell us that in fourth energy level, which subshell is present. So let us understand this now. See, for specific values of L, the subshell is fixed, which means that you need to remember these corresponding values. This only thing you need to remember in this video, rest all is concept based. See, suppose if the value of L is 0, 0 corresponds to S subshell, 1 corresponds to P subshell, 2 corresponds to D subshell, and 3 corresponds to F subshell, and these are nothing but the values of L. So if the value of L is 0, S, 1, P, 2, D, 3, F. Okay. Now moving ahead, but you might be wondering how to find the value of L. Okay. You need to find the value of L, then only you can find out which subcell is present in which energy level. Okay. See, finding the value of L is simple. L is nothing but all values from 0 to n minus 1. I know you might not have understood this. Let's understand with the help of an example. For example, let's consider, suppose n is equals to 3. And what is n is equals to 3? It is third energy level. N is equals to 3 means third energy level. So what are the values of L? L will have all values from 0 to n minus 1. And what is n over here? 3 minus 1. So 0 to 2. So L is going to have all values from 0 to 2. That is nothing but 0, 1, 2. Similarly, suppose if your n is 4. That is, suppose the energy level is fourth energy level. Then what are the values of L? Obviously from 0 to 4 minus 1. That is 0 to 3. That is 0, 1, 2 and 3. Now moving ahead, find the values of L for n is equals to 5. This is the question for you all, and you have to comment below in the comments section. Now, if you have understood the azimuthal quantum number, whatever I have told you till now, it is time for us to understand one table over here. In this table, the first column indicates the energy level. The second column indicates the values of L. The third column indicates subshell. The fourth column indicates the number of subshell. Now let us understand what is this. Suppose you consider the first energy level, that is n is equals to 1. So what are the possible values of L from 0 to 1 minus 1? That is from 0 to 0. So 0 to 0 comes only one value. That is, the value of L is obviously going to be 0. Now, as I have told you earlier, you might have forgot. I have told you to remember these values, right? For 0 corresponds to S orbital. So obviously, since the value of L is 0, therefore the subshell which is present is S subshell. So value of 0 tells us it is a S subshell. But since this S subshell is present in the first energy level, therefore I have written it as 1S. Am I clear? Similarly, how many subshells are there? Only 1. So number of subshells is equals to 1. Which means that the first energy level is only going to have one subshell, and that is S. It is not going to have P subshell, D subshell and F subshell. Is this clear with you all? This first energy level is only going to have one subshell, that is the 1s subshell. Similarly, moving ahead, for the second energy level. For the second energy level, what are the possible values of L from 0 to 2 minus 1? From 0 to 1. From 0 to 1, what are the values? Whole numbers 0 and 1. Okay. And as mentioned earlier, the value of L is equal to 0 corresponds to S subshell. And the value of L is equal to 1 corresponds to P subshell. And since this S and P are present in the second energy level, therefore I have written as 2S and 2P. And since there are two different subshells present over here, therefore the number of subshells is equals to 2. Now, so guys, now moving ahead to our third energy level where N is equals to 3. And if N is equals to 3, what are the possible values of L? The possible values of L are nothing but 0, 1 and 2, because the values of L will range from 0 to 3 minus 1, that is from 0 to 2. Okay, and as we all know that if the value of L is 0, this 0 corresponds to the S subshell, this 1 corresponds to the P subshell, and this 2 corresponds to the D subshell. And since this S, P and D are present in the third energy level of an atom, therefore I have written them as 3S, 3P and 3D. Now how many number of subshells are present? Obviously 1, 2 and 3. So the number of subshells present in the third energy level are 3. Moving ahead to the fourth energy level. In the fourth energy level, the possible values of L will be, of course, from 0 to 4 minus 1, that is from 0 to 3. So the values of L will be 0, 1, 2 and 3. Now, as we all know that 0 corresponds to the S subshell, 1 to the P subshell, 2 corresponds to the D subshell, and here a new subshell is added, that 3 corresponds to the F subshell. And since this S, P, D, F, they all are present in the fourth energy level, therefore I have written them as 4S, 4P, 4D and 4F. And the number of subshells present in the fourth energy level are nothing but 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, few things you need to observe over here carefully, guys. See, first thing, first energy level will have 1 subshells. Second energy level will have 2 subshells. Third energy level will have 3 subshells. And fourth energy level will have 4 subshells. So can I say whatever is your energy level, that many number of subshells you will be having. Can you see this column and this column is exactly equal. So now I hope you have understood how the value of L helps you all in finding which subshell is present in which energy level. And the second thing that you need to watch out for is that the first energy level does not consist of P, D and F subshell. It only consists of S subshell. The second energy level consists of only S and P subshell. It does not have D and F subshell. The third energy level consists of 3S, 3P, 3D, which means that only S, P and D subshell are there. F subshell is not there. And in the fourth energy level, all the subshells are present. Okay, now you might have be understanding in the principal quantum number I had taken 1s, 2s and 3s. Let's move over there. If you observe over here, see I have taken as 1s, 2s and 3s, and where this 1, 2 and 3 are nothing but the energy levels. Okay, now this might help you to clear the concept. Now the second use of the finding the value of L is that you can find out the angular momentum of electron which is moving around the nucleus. So if you know the value of L, you just simply have to substitute the value of L in this equation and you can find out the angular momentum of that electron. Now don't get confused between this L and this L. This small l is nothing but your azimuthal quantum number, whereas this capital L is nothing but your angular momentum. Angular momentum is represented by capital L, and this H simply is your Planck's constant. And I hope you all know what is the value of this Planck's constant. The value of the Planck's constant is nothing but 6.62 into 10 raised to minus 34 joules seconds. Now moving ahead to the third advantage of finding the value of L, you can find out the maximum electrons present in a subshell. Now what is the meaning of this? You can find out how many maximum number of electrons are present in a S subshell. You can also find out how many maximum number of electrons are present in a P subshell, D subshell, F subshell, and so on. Let's understand how with the help of this formula. 2 into L plus 1. This is a L. Don't take it as 1. Okay. Now moving ahead, how to use this formula. Let's understand that. For example, you want to find out the maximum number of electrons in S subshell. So, as we all know that the value of L is equals to 0 corresponds to S subshell. So, simply you have to put here 0 and what you get is 2. So, there can be maximum 2 electrons in S subshell. Therefore, if you all remember, I told you that in this one S subshell there can be 2 electrons, and this second sphere will consist of next 2 electrons, not exactly next 2, but it will have only 2 electrons. So whatever might be the size of S orbital or your S subshell, it will have only 2 electrons. I hope this part is clear for you guys. Now moving ahead. Okay. Similarly, if you want to find out the maximum number of electrons in P subshell. Now, as we all know, the value of L is equals to 1 corresponds to P subshell. So, simply substituting a value of L as 1, you can find out the maximum number of electrons present in subshell. And a homework for you all, you have to find out the maximum number of electrons in F subshell and you have to comment below in the comment box. Okay. Hey guys, check out my channel where I've uploaded physics and chemistry videos. They might be helpful for you all, and do not forget to subscribe to the channel for more such interesting videos. And guys, thank you for watching this video.